looking at the industries we have here. So let's see how we can tie all of this.
You know, the guys made some points. I mean, that's what people have at the back of their mind, like I said, that you don't want to even give or sell assets to someone who does not have the wherewithal, who is not knowledgeable to manage it, who has not got the capital, and how much are we selling it, what's the evaluation of what we are going to sell, and stuff like that. That should be more transparency, and beyond that, there should be qualified people to do that. If you look at Frankfurt Airport, for instance, it's a fine airport. It's being managed by Fraport. You know, when you design a place like, we talk about this aviation thing, so many billions were spent on renovating all our airports, and what have we got out of it? Nothing. And now it seems that we are beginning to rebuild and to, you know, resell. And these are the things that are just annoying to most Nigerians. And I agree with the gentleman that, look, you have to pay your tax wherever you are. But now looking at it, and like Tony said, these billions and billions of dollars that have been spent by the government in recent times were just to even give the contractors, to give our creditors a kind of, listen, trust us, we can work with you. We were not the one that caused this mess. We are here to make things work, and we have to show you that we can trust, you can trust us. And that's why they've spent so much. I'm not in the government, but I can understand that when you find yourself in this kind of mess, you have to build trust. When Buhari came in, and people just trusted him with this banner of change, that look, you're going to change something, things will work well, we trust you, we know your antecedent. But then he's working with people within a short period of time, that even within 6 months or 3 months, we realized that there was corruption in between, even for the people that were sitting down with him. So this thing is just with the people. And I think we as people, just like what Chief was saying, that listen, people might go on the street. This is a peaceful nation. And no, we have been very peaceful and been very patient with the government, and will continue to be, because we don't want to lose life in this country. You talked about Angola. Angola is not as if it's, I've been to Angola a couple of times, and I don't see anything. They have their own problems as well. They have terrible problems in Angola right now, unfortunately.
You know, all he said was that they have oil.
Yes, they have oil.
We're not the only country that has oil.
I understand that. They have problems right now, too, because they're not managing it well. It's about the management that we should be talking about. These guys are not managing, and unfortunately in Africa, we don't seem to be managing most of these things, unless when you have leadership, like in Rwanda and some other places.
Can we just take this call from Kaduna? Right. Hello, Abdul. Abdul, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, please.
Yes, I actually want to make my own.
Okay.
And I have listened to all the your guests, and all of them have made their own very brilliant contributions. But one thing I noticed is majorly because the topic is the road to economic recovery. We are supposed to be looking for a way out. That should be the major focus on this discussion. But it's more of criticism than a way out. I love the idea from the lady. The other man, I think one of the economists also said, theoretically selling the assets is not bad. But the government should explain the infrastructure they want to invest in. It's a brilliant idea, which I think should be supported. If government are not able to explain where they want to invest, in the kind of infrastructure they want to invest in, I think we should be able to question them. One of the last caller, it's my opinion. One of the last caller said was also trying to criticize Dangote. But if we look at what Dangote has done in this country, every other person that has looted our money and has invested in the Western world and Europe, those that have looted our money, if they had invested the way Dangote has done in this country, where we are today, we will not be there. That is the fact. If they will even make looting, if they will legalize looting, in as much it is invested in our country, our economy will not be where we are today. I think the major thing is way out and how we can get out of this mess and not criticizing the government. Yes, we need to criticize them to positive criticism is what they need right now.
Okay. Thank you, Abdul.
Thank you.
Let me just put a word on that. You see, if you have the Chinese guys coming into this country to take over whatever, who complain that Chinese guys are buying over all our properties? So if it's an indigent, a Nigerian citizen that is buying it, but as long as the guy has got it competent and is doing it, just like what the caller said, I'm not saying we should sell everything we have. We cannot even sell everything we have. We can sell, but the modalities, the government, the finance minister, unfortunately, we are not getting more information coming out to the people right now. They just said federal government endorsed. Federal government is going to sell. Who is the federal government? Let's get somebody to come out and say, these are the plans we want to sell this portion, this percentage, and these are
the money doing
and
this
is
and
what.
that.
In the short term, at the immediate time, we are repairing this road from one place to another. It's going to be 10 or 50 kilometers, and this is what it's going to cost us. This contractor will be bidding for it, and we'll be putting this money once we get it. We are going to do this energy issue. I've been saying it before. You cannot depend solely on this PSC and guide. You have to have a mixed energy. You have to have wind energy. You have to have solar energy. You have to have so many. So states can do it. States can do it. At the time, I think those are the kind of things we want to know. If you want to sell a family land, you should be able to tell us, look, if you sell this family land, what are you going to do with it? Are we just going to share the money and just share the gala, share the books?
Let me bring Chief in. We're supposed to be looking at the road to recovery, and obviously one of the things we should be looking at is cutting cost. We have heard all kinds of mind-boggling figures about what our legislators earn, for instance. The monies that are spent in Aso Rock, villa and stuff like that. Do you see any cost-cutting measures anywhere?
I don't see. Beyond that, it is unfortunate that those saddled with the management of our economy are gamblers, gambling with the welfare, peace of the poor people. Why do I say so? Just a week ago, the Minister for Finance flew a kite, and she said that these oil assets will be sold. The reasons she gave: one, that if the assets are sold, the federal government will be saved from being held accountable for the development of the oil-producing communities. Two, that the refineries will now begin to work at maximum capacity. And by extension, it will stem the tide of the militancy in the Niger Delta. I find this laughable and senseless. We are talking of solution. The solution has to start with Mr. President. It took Mr. President 6 months to appoint ministers. I was looking to see angels. As soon as I went through the list, I told my colleague, you can never see a virgin in a maternity ward. And when these appointments were made without portfolios, a senior advocate of Nigeria, my good friend, Udo Odoma, was sent to the Ministry of Budget and Planning. We all know what happened to the budget and the time they started implementing the budget. We're in September now. Part of the reasons they gave for selling of these oil assets is that the proceeds will be injected into capital projects. From September, so let us start with October. The year has ended. You will now marry 2016 budget with that of 2017. They will never marry together. They will divorce. Given the caliber of people we have. They talk about diversification into agriculture. As I'm talking to you now, Enugu State has witnessed 3 killings. Not just one person. Killing and sacking the entire community. Destruction of farm crops and so on, and you are telling people to go into agriculture. What the president should do is to declare these herdsmen terrorists, as he has declared Boko Haram, and go after them. Then when he's talking of agriculture, people will listen to him. That is one. Two, he should cut down the number of his aides.
All right, Chief, just hold your thoughts. We need to take a quick break. When we'll come back, we'll continue with the solutions. Please don't go away.